Hello Toastmasters. Today we are going to talk about navigating through the UAB Toastmasters site, which can be located at uab.toastmastersclubs.org, and we're also going to be talking about navigating the Toastmasters International site. Both of these websites can be accessed from the club website, and I want to start here. Everything that you need to know about Toastmasters and everything you need to do regarding Toastmasters can be accessed from the club websites. So we can always start with uab.toastmastersclubs.org. Now, earlier I told you can access everything involving Toastmasters from this site, uab.toastmastersclubs.org. And that is true. From this site, you can log on to our meeting agendas and sign up for roles of the meeting, which will be covered in a different video. But let's talk about the difference between this website and the Toastmasters International site. The club website, which again is uab.toastmastersclubs.org, is where you manage everything related to club business. That's signing up for agendas, that's editing your profile for the club. There's all sorts of different options that you can play around with and look at from the club website. The club website serves as a very useful tool for not only members but officers to keep up to date about what Toastmasters at UAB is doing. However, when you want to access your pathway or find out more about Toastmasters as an international organization, which it is, you will go to the very top here and click Toastmasters International. This will help you visit the Toastmasters International website. So we'll click that and we will let it load, and that's going to take you to toastmasters.org, which is our international website. When you're a member of Toastmasters, you will need to have an account with this website, toastmasters.org, and the club website, uab.toastmastersclubs.org. I know that is confusing, but from the club side, that's where you will sign up for roles on the agenda and do club business. And on the international site, that's where you'll look at your pathways and keep up with more international type information. It's where you'll pay your dues to. So the international website looks like this, and remember, it's at toastmasters.org, and at the very top you'll click login. Now this video is assuming you've already made a login for this site, so if you haven't and you're having issues with it, please let Evan or Peggy know, and they can help you when it comes to logging in to the Toastmasters International site. And this is what you'll see when you first log in. The Toastmasters International site gives you kind of a broad overview of the club. And now I am an officer, so I can see some things that maybe some of you can't see. But the focus of this video is Basecamp and pathways. So when you log in, it's going to say, where can we take you today, Evan, but it'll say your name. And I want us to look at Basecamp. So let's click go to Basecamp right here. Now, if you are a first-time member, you will need to pick a pathway. There are 6 pathways to choose from in Toastmasters, and once you pick one, this Basecamp section is how you will move through the pathway, go through the learning, go through the educational system, and correlate that to the speeches that you give. If you're a newer member, please reach out to Evan and he can help you with choosing that pathway. Once you do choose the pathway, it will show up in active right here. Now I have a lot more options than most of you will see, but visionary communication is the pathway that I'm on right now. So whichever pathway you are on and is active, you'll click this, and we'll take a look at what it looks like to move through this system. So right now I'm on level 3, but let's go to the beginning. When you want to go to the beginning of your pathway, you'll go to the top left here and you'll click Overview. Now I must admit, sometimes this website is a bit on the slower side, and I certainly do apologize about that. But we can only control what we can control. So this is your overview of a path. Each path in Toastmasters has 5 levels, and each level has a set of speeches that you will need to complete to move through it. Each level focuses on a different aspect of public speaking, whether it be leadership, communication, knowledge, a lot of different things. And that is why Toastmasters, especially in the educational system, is so comprehensive. Some people wonder what they're paying for with the Toastmasters membership, but this is an extremely robust and comprehensive system that can truly help meet you no matter what level you are with your speaking and help you take that next step. So for an example for this video, let's look at level 1. And for visionary communication, it would be Mastering Fundamentals. You'll just click the very first link on here. And it will load quite slowly. So when you click the level 1 Mastering Fundamentals, it will tell you the basis of this level. Welcome to your pathways journey in level 1, yada yada yada. It's going to tell you everything that's required from this level, which is giving an icebreaker speech, giving the writing a speech with purpose, introduction to vocal variety and body language, and the evaluation and feedback. It's also going to encourage you to take up some meeting roles to get through the level. So you'll also be required to be the table topic speaker, or a table topic speaker for a meeting, a prepared speaker, an evaluator, and 2 listening roles. You can choose to be a timer or the all counter. So the path gives you your path through Toastmasters. We're not going to just leave you to give a speech all by yourself, but everything you do in Toastmasters and everything you do at these meetings is led by pathways, and it helps you understand the requirements that are needed to move through this educational system. The very first speech in level 1 is called the icebreaker speech. So let's go to our left and we can see where we are. It's right here. Click that little arrow, and it's going to take a little bit to load. I do apologize. And I want to show you what moving through a speech in Pathways looks like, because once you move through it on this side of things, you can get ready to deliver it at your club meeting. So now that it's loaded, we'll click the very first option, which just says icebreaker, and it introduces the very first speech. So we are not leaving you alone to write your speeches. Pathways helps you design and build your speeches every step of the way. When you go to the beginning, it talks about the speech, it gives you your resources here, and it goes through an easy to navigate system to talk about that speech. So it goes through an introduction, it goes through this know, wonder, learn, find support, and everything you need to do when it comes to building your speech, you'll read and you'll go through these learning sections. You can go through these modules as fast or as slow as you need to, but these are built to help you build these speeches. You can see these resources of people who've already given the icebreaker speech. It gives you organizational strategies to design your speech, and it gives you those PDF resources to help you write your speech. So everything you need to do with each speech in Toastmasters is provided to you in Pathways. And one quick tidbit. Pathways is the big name for the educational system, whereas your path is the path that you've chosen. There are 6 paths to choose from in pathways. And when you start to sign up for your first path, you'll do a needs assessment that will help you pick the one that you want to choose. Now, you don't have to pick that one. You can choose whichever one you want to. But Toastmasters helps define your needs for you and can suggest a good one. Your mentor can also help with choosing your first path. Now, as we're getting back to what the icebreaker looks like, you'll move through all these modules here. And once you get to the end, this is when you're going to type out your speech title, the date, the club, the evaluator if you have it, and the evaluation form that you'll use. Now, this is an example of one that I have coming up, but it's going to look very similar to you. Now, you might not know all this information, and that's fine. You can just click Save Log. But once you do get all the information, you can click Save an Email. And not only will it save it to your path, it will also email your evaluator so they'll have a copy of your evaluation sheet. It's still a good idea to print your evaluation sheet for each meeting. That way you can just give it to your evaluator and say, hey, I know you're evaluating me tonight. Here is my evaluation resource. Now, those evaluation sheets can be found back on the Toastmasters at UAB website, and I'll show you how to get back to those shortly. But that's basically what you do. You're set up to give a speech at a meeting, and now you're going to get to this page. Now, obviously, I've already completed this, but when you do complete this, there's going to be a button that says to complete the project. Once you click that button, your completion request will go to the Vice President of Education, and they will approve that request. Once it's approved, you've done with your icebreaker, and you can move on to the next speech, and the next speech, and the next speech. And if we go back to overview here, and it's going to load a bit slowly as it always does. But once it does load, you can see how moving through these levels works. This education system is not meant to be stressful. It's not meant to be like a class, and it's certainly not something you're going to be graded on. But we want to give you as many resources as we can to make sure that not only are you growing as a public speaker, but you're learning why and how you can grow not only as a speaker, but as a communicator and as a lot of other things. And that's it. That's what Pathways looks like. And you can click the very top left to go back to the Toastmasters International website that shows the Basecamp, which, remember, Basecamp is just the part of the website that shows your pathways. So remember, we have the Toastmasters International website, which has a lot of good information, but Basecamp being your most important there. We have the Toastmasters at UAB website, which is how you log on to meeting agendas and sign up for roles. And those are the 2 big websites you're going to need for Toastmasters. I encourage all of you to spend a little bit of time every day, not only navigating the UAB websites, but the Toastmasters International websites. And you'll become a lot more familiar with what both of these look like and how both of them can help you